science.
Cheers, welcome back to Nutrition Tips with J-Lo. Today I'm going to talk about hydration and fluid and water, which is one of the kind of little bit of an underrated component of nutrition, not necessarily talked about as much as the other, fancy nutrients and macronutrients. And actually water is considered by a lot of nutrition professionals to be kind of a fourth macronutrient aside from carbohydrates and protein and fat. And it's a huge component of our body. Like 70% of our body tissues and cells and everything is made up of water. And even small amounts of dehydration can cause us to be, drop our performance significantly. And also just is really important for maintaining good health, keeping our immune system strong and our body working properly. That should come as no surprise. Something that is worth noting that as it gets colder outside, we actually need to be on top of hydration, probably even more than like in the fall or the spring, because we don't think about hydration or water fluid needs as being as important when it's cold, because we're not thirsty, we're not sweating as much we think we're not sweating as much as we are. But the reality is that actually our hydration needs go up when it's cold, because we are in a dry, high altitude, cold climate. There's less water in the air. And as we're starting to train harder, we are sweating more and more than we think. And as a result, we need to drink more water. And this is because for a lot of other reasons as well, our body's working really hard when it's cold to try to maintain our core body temperature. So we're actually losing more sweat, more water in our sweat. There's also this phenomenon called cold diuresis, which is basically that our body, when it's colder outside, produces more pee, more urine, and we actually pee more frequently when it's cold. We probably all kind of have noticed that before. And so we just need to be making sure we're coming to practice really well hydrated. And that doesn't mean chugging a huge bottle of water right before practice, because that actually just basically freaks the body out, makes us pee it all out. Sipping on water throughout the day, coming into training well hydrated. There's been studies on athletes in colder climates that actually tend to be dehydrated, coming into training and not meeting fluid needs in training. And of course, water is kind of the most important and just best source of hydration, but there's ways to mix it up. And I think I want to share just a little super easy kind of hydration mix that you can make yourself at home, put it in your water belt, just a really nice way to mix it up. And as actually kind of a super pro Scando type of or Euro type of mix. Here's how to make J-Lo's performance tea. Okay, so basically really what you need is your favorite kind of tea. I really like decaf Earl Grey. You could use black tea, you could use chai, you could do like a lemon ginger, mix it up every time if you want. Just whatever kind of tea you like, even like a matcha green tea could be nice. About a tablespoon of sugar. I'm just using normal cane sugar, probably just best, simplest. A little bit of a pinch of sea salt, and of course some hot water for the tea. You can boil this up at the hut if you want, or do it at home before practice. But you essentially just want to take your water belt or your water bottle, take your tea bag, and I basically what I do is pop the little tag off so you don't have to deal with that. Put the tea bag just directly into the water belt. Pour some hot water in to fill up the water belt. You don't want it to be super boiling. You don't want it to melt the plastic part of the water belt. Fill this up. You could use 2 tea bags if you want to make it extra flavorful. Just do a little pinch of sea salt in there. That'll give you some good sodium, good electrolyte, help you retain that hydration, that water. Sodium is a very essential part of hydration, maintains your electrolyte balance. And then about a tablespoon of sugar just to sweeten it up a little bit. This is kind of a more natural DIY homemade sports drink. I just put a tablespoon of sugar. You could add more or less if you want, just to get a good little source of easy to digest and absorb carbohydrate to fuel your training session, make it a little bit more flavorful. And that's it. You just let that soak in there. It's a nice warm drink to have in your ski or your run or whatever you're doing. And I think it's a great way to make your own sports drink, keep up your hydration, mix it up, tastes great. And yeah, I really recommend trying it out. I think it's a great little option for some of those longer cold skis where just drinking plain water sounds terrible. Homemade J-Lo performance tea. Can't go wrong. Awesome.
Nice.
That's going to give you a little bit of course, fluid for hydration, a little bit of sugar, good carbohydrate, because our carbohydrate and energy needs go up when we're training in the cold, we're working hard, and a little bit of salt will give you sodium to kind of improve that hydration status, give you that good electrolyte. And that's just something super easy. You don't have to go and buy a fancy hydration mix if you don't want to. Of course, there's plenty of good sport drinks out there, but this is just a simple, easy, good way to improve your hydration. And of course, just making sure that you're drinking well throughout the day, before and after training. And this is just a really important piece of our health as athletes, but also for making sure we're maintaining performance. And as it gets colder outside, we're starting to train more, train when it's cold. We have to be on top of it, even if we don't feel thirsty or feel like we're sweating a lot. We actually are. We're losing water, losing fluid, and we need to kind of stay on top of it, make sure we don't get behind, just like with everything else. So super simple, just keep drinking water. You don't have to measure it out, but just making sure that throughout the whole day, you're on top of it, starting the day with a nice glass of water, and not forgetting to drink water, all the way until practice. And of course, bringing those water belts with you during workouts to kind of keep on top of that. And I think mixing it up with not just plain water, but maybe putting in a little bit of tea into your water belt, or some warm sports drink, something like that can really be helpful. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful. Make some J-Lo tea next time you go out on a training session. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do it, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.